Right now you're only floating a few feet above the ground, just over 800 feet above sea level. But you're about to go much higher, on a journey to the edge of space. As far as the Seeker team knows, this is the first time something like this has ever been done before in VR. Thanks to the weather balloon above you, you'll soon reach speeds of over 65 miles an hour as you travel out of the troposphere and into the stratosphere. And you may notice this line going around. Well, that's because you're spinning fast too, but we stabilized the footage the best we could to make your ride a calm one. Now get ready, don't forget to look around, and enjoy your journey to the edge of space. The trip has just begun, but you've already flown past the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. But the Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia, which is already under construction, is set to overtake it, reaching just over 3,200 feet. If you've ever skydived before, this is about the altitude at which you probably would have jumped out of the airplane. Now might be a good time to look down. If you listen closely, you can hear the precipitation inside this cloud, and if you look up, you can see it falling down around you. At this altitude, the temperature is so cold that what you're actually seeing is sleet and snow. We're coming up to the height of Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. Its peak is about 2,700 feet above what mountaineers call the dead zone, where oxygen is too scarce to breathe. And just a short distance above Everest Peak is the cruising altitude of commercial flights. Look around to see an angle of the world you wouldn't normally see sitting in an airplane. It may not feel like it, but you're traveling at over 65 miles an hour, ascending at more than 1,000 feet per minute. This might be because we hit the jet stream, a current of fast-moving air cutting through our atmosphere. Now the air pressure is about 90% lower than it is back on the ground, close to the atmospheric pressure in space. Under these conditions, your body would not be able to survive without a spacesuit. This is about the altitude where our cameras died. However, the balloon didn't. It kept traveling to a height of over 114,000 feet, where, because of the drop in air pressure, the helium inside expanded so much that the balloon burst. The cameras and equipment fell back down to Earth where our Seeker team tracked and found it. Everything's still intact, and just a few miles from where we launched. We had a plan to go to the stratosphere, to bring seekers like you to a place they wouldn't otherwise be able to go, to experience the world from a new angle, to take you to the edges of the Earth.
If the government or NASA had said to you that the Earth is stationary, imagine that. And then imagine we are trying to convince people that no, it's not stationary. It's moving forward at 32 times rifle bullet speed and spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. We would be laughed at. We would have so many people telling us, "You're crazy. The Earth is not moving." We would be ridiculed for having no scientific backing for this convoluted moving Earth theory. And not only that, but then people would say, "Oh, then how do you explain a fixed, calm atmosphere and the sun's observable movement? How do you explain that?" Imagine saying to people, no, the atmosphere is moving also, but is somehow magically velcroed to the moving Earth. The reason is not simply because the Earth is stationary. So what we are actually doing is what makes sense. We are saying that the moving Earth theory is nonsense. The stationary Earth theory makes sense, and we are being ridiculed. You've got to picture it being the other way around to realize just how ridiculous this situation is. This theory from the government and NASA that the Earth is rotating and orbiting and leaning over and wobbling is absolute nonsense. And yet people are clinging to it tightly, like a teddy bear. They just can't bring themselves to face the possibility that the Earth is stationary, though all the evidence shows it. We feel no movement. The atmosphere hasn't been blown away. We see the sun move from east to west. Everything can be explained by a motionless Earth without bringing in all these assumptions to cover up previous assumptions gone bad. If you find from your own experience that something is a fact and it contradicts what some authority has written down, then you must abandon the authority and base your reasoning on your own findings. So investigate the subject for yourself and ask questions.